Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Dealer Destro, back at y'all with another G.I. Joe Classified review. And for this video, well, you can already see where this is going. We're going to be taking a look at the Haslab exclusive G.I. Joe Classified HISS tank. And it's been a long road getting to this point. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about. All right, strap in. Let's get into it. Okay, so my review station is clearly not allocated to house this big of a project. Not a problem. We're going to work through it, do the best we can. So getting right into the packaging, you see here on the front you have this brilliantly displayed piece of artwork. This is art, by the way. And it's kind of a shame that Hasbro doesn't go more in on letting folks get collateral via Hasbro Pulse or another avenue to acquire poster versions of some of the stuff that they're putting out to frame it. Not sure why that is. I'm not on the business team, but maybe that's a question we'll get answered another day. Okay, that being said, looking at the artwork, you've got this Mount Rushmore-esque sort of display of the Cobra higher ranking officials. Here you see Cobra Commander, Destro, and then turning the packaging a little bit to the side, you see that the Baroness is split between sort of the front and the side view here. Coming back around to the front, you see here that the HISS tank driver, one of them is acting as an infantry unit, and then you have a very well done portrait of the HISS tank itself. Notice that it is outfitted in the classified deco for the canopy, and the blast shield appears to be on the turret with the gunner, the turret machine guns, and the side-mounted missiles all shown. This looks great. Notice the glossed G.I. Joe Classified Series logo. And then one thing, I guess that might be worth pointing out, is usually, I want to say it's ages 4 and plus, they added 10 years. So they either know who their target audience is or something. I just figured that's worth noting and calling out because it is a topic of discussion in some of the groups. Okay, turning it to the side here, you see that we've got the HISS Tactician, who is all in blacked out deco with a large Cobra logo and a HISS tank driver head. That looks great. I believe this was the fan voted on figure for when the offering hit that specific tier. Folks got to vote on if they wanted like a purple one, a black and red one, red and blue, etc. And the majority spoke, and we have a black HISS tank tactician unit, trooper, whatever you want to call them. And then looking here closely, let me see how close I can get in here. You've got a front view of the actual HISS tank itself, showcasing the Cobra spotlighting, I guess, and it should be noted, when you put the batteries in this thing, these all light up and it looks phenomenal. Phenomenal. Okay, coming around to the back here, you get a more pronounced side profile of the unit itself. And what I love is that you've got like this factory setting, there's like wires and cables and stuff kind of in the background, but then you have 1, 2, coming around the side, 3. You have 3 HISS tanks moving in sort of this patrol type formation, and that looks great. You see here that the HISS tank gunner is pictured holding one of her tool accessories, and the artwork here again, just phenomenal. Okay, so turning this around last time to the side, we're going to tilt this up, and then that way we can see the glossed Cobra Semper Fidelis logo, I guess. Latin for something. I know there's some military guys in the groups. Y'all can either correct me or keep me honest here, but this looks really well done. And then in the background here, you kind of get this other schematic of the unit itself with the big Cobra logo on this side. One thing to note, you see the Mars logo pictured in full force. So once we start the unboxing of this, we are going to know firsthand why Cobra deals with Destro. All right, that being said, let's go ahead and take this up to this side here. And then on the bottom of the box, you get what is a full schematic of the HISS tank itself. Once again, you see this sizing profile here, shows the height of the unit, shows the height of the figure, and this looks really, really good. Really well done. Kudos to Lenny and the team on this packaging. They did not waste 1 square inch of space on this thing. Okay, we're gonna get right into this thing. All right, we'll see how much of this we can do in frame here. So first things first, we've got 1, 2 plastic seals and a third one towards the rear here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that unboxing tool that I like, which is old trusty here, box cutter, blade runner. Okay, and then I'm just gonna come very gently and break that seal. And I'm gonna do it on this side as well. That's done. And then I am real quick going to turn this on its side. And I'm going to hit the bottom seal here. And I know that the material looks like it'll come off the box with no problem. I don't want to be picking at the box and risk scuffing up the packaging. So I'm just going to use the box cutter for now. And then we'll come here to the side and let's see here. We'll get in here ever so gently. Just give this a little tug. Come on. All right, this thing wants to be temperamental with me here. I'm gonna turn it on its side real quick and then just lift up. Hey, look at that. Okay. Now, here comes the tricky part. How do we do this and keep it all in frame? And look at that. Right out the gate. Boom. More logos. Love it. So I'm just going to tilt this thing to the side and kind of let gravity do the heavy lifting for me. Should be noted, did my best to secure the figure box to keep it from falling out. And that's what that looks like. That looks really, really good, especially just for some run-of-the-mill cardboard packaging. The only thing I'd say is at least they were thoughtful about it, and it looks good. It looks really good. So first things first, I'm gonna just put this down right here. Let's open it up and see what's inside. Unless we have any more. Nope. Doesn't look like we have any more tape seals here, so I'm just going to go ahead and whoop, right up. Look at that. All that beautiful protective wrapping. And that's what it looks like. We've got our HISS gunner, HISS driver, and our signed packaging HISS tactician. And this looks really good. The way that they package this all in here together to make sure everything arrives safe, this is really well done. Bravo. Bravo. Okay. And then, should be noted, you've got your decal sheet and your cautionary sheet. Don't be eating any of that stuff. Okay. So I'm gonna close this back down. Set this to the side for a sec here. And then let's just come in on this bad mama jamma right here. Holy moly. Real quick, I'm going to see if I can just zoom out a hair. Okay. So now, let's look at how the HISS tank comes itself. All right, we're gonna open this bad boy up like so. That is a massive box flap. Holy smokes. All right, right off top, you've got your classified deco side skirts. Those look good. Let me set those to the side. And then we've also got our vintage deco side skirts. Those look great. All right. And looks like we've got both of our canopies. So we've got our classified canopy and our standard vintage canopy. What do we have right here? Oh, would you look at that? Nice little chinny chin chin gun. Love it. We take this thing out. Holy smokes. Let's just set this off to the side here. Yowza. And then what we're presented with is none other than the beast itself. The beast. Look at this thing. Look at how this thing is massive, y'all. I know the pictures and whatnot, like, folks are commenting like, oh, hey, that thing looks undersized. I mean, look, I'm a grown-ass man, all right? This is my hand, okay? Look at this. Like, look at this thing next to my forearm. Screw my hand. Look at this thing next to my forearm. That is crazy. Crazy. Yeah, y'all, this thing is massively huge. Massive. And then coming in here, we've got our missiles that plug into the side. That's all fine and dandy. And what else do we got? Oh, would you look at that? Old trusty. The turret. Fantastic. Fantastic, y'all. And oh, looks like we got one more. Oh, a couple more things up in here, actually. So what is this? Oh, this looks like the blast shield and the side turrets. That's great. Fantastic. I'm going to get all this plastic stuff taken off, get the unit assembled, and then we're going to come back and we've got an awful lot to talk about. This thing is massive! All right, y'all. So I'm back, and I left this on just to kind of showcase the extra level of care, I guess, that went into packaging this thing. What I love is when they're thoughtful like this, right? Hey, we're gonna put this extra little bit of layering on the unit to keep it nice in the box. And that's just great. Love it. Love it. And then I'll tell you what else I love is when you get in here like this, right? When you're in here like this and you're undoing it for the first time, I like to come in every now and then and get a ooh, nothing like that. Oh, that new plastic packaging smell. And I have no idea what inhaling these chemicals are doing to me, but I don't care because I love it. Look at this. Oh, man, the smell of new toys. Nothing beats it, y'all. Nothing beats it. Okay, all fooling around aside, we've got the plastic off of this thing, and holy cannoli. Look at this. Look at the detailing here. There was some discussion around folks speculating whether these were stickers. I can 100% tell you they're not. And then if you also notice the black line work in here, amazing. Subtle, but amazing. Turning it around to this side, you see here once again, very well applied Cobra logo, very well applied vintage logo. The 788 looks great. I never knew what the hell this thing was. This missile deco here looks good. Now, what I will say, there is one on here that is a sticker, and it is the tow cable for the hitch on the back. So that is 100% a decal. I'm not sure how good the wording's coming through on the camera. Hopefully y'all can see that. And then you've got the GH7C. And anyone who's been around long enough to remember putting the stickers on one of these, this one was a pain in the ass to get straight. Okay, that being said, this that's the main body of it, okay? And as you can see, nothing, this is exactly how it comes out of the box. The engine cover does come off to reveal some fancy schmancy engine work in there, and that looks really good. They didn't have to do that. I think that's a really, really thoughtful thing to include. So I'm gonna get this back on. Okay, so now let's get this thing assembled. Actually, wait, before we do that, let me see if I can get you a good view of inside the cockpit here. So what you see is we've got sculpted control details in here. You've got this lever, the forward and reverse. It does move back and forth. That's freaking fantastic, by the way. And then we've got, coming around on the other side, the driver's stick, which it moves. It's articulate. It's crazy. This is crazy. All the detailing in here, absolutely bonkers. Bonkers. Actually, I don't think I'm doing y'all justice here real quick. Let me... Sorry, it's gonna get wobbly for a second, y'all. But here we go. So, looking... I mean, look at that. Look inside of there. That's just crazy. Crazy, 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 crazy. Okay. All right. So hopefully y'all were able to see the cockpit okay. I guess accessory-wise, let's kick it off and we'll roll with the classified skirt here. And again, you see this line work, all this detailing in here, phenomenal, phenomenal. It's got these 3 prongs here, pegs, whatever you want to call them, that plug in right, yeah. Doesn't take much. You just give it a little pushy push, and it stays on there pretty good. Not a problem. We've also got, let's see. So on the side here, these things flip up, exposing this hole that this can go into. Oh, well, that's neat. I guess I didn't realize that these come off. How cool is that? Okay. So I didn't know that these come off. So there's the missile, and it plugs right there, like so. And there's 6 of them. Holy moly. G.I. Joe's in for a handful, guys. And then this just plugs in right there, like so. And there you have it. Missiles are attached. Moving on down the line here, this is how the turrets come. So I'm just going to ever so gently take them out, position them. Now what you have to do is you'll notice that both of them, it looks like you have 2 of the same. It can be this is easily remedied. And it's going to look a little weird, but when you go through the motion, but all you got to do is flip this arm like so, and now you have matching turrets, 1 for each side. Should also be noted, come with these ammunition. Oh, that one's down. Man down, man down. Come with these ammunition boxes. And these plug in right here, like so. And then, however you want to mount them, they plug in right there on the side of the turret. Okay. Moving around, continuing with the assembly here, we've got the chin gun, and it looks really good. It's got nice Cobra insignias on the sides, really nice paint applications. This red looks really good, and then the corrosion or the oxidization of these barrels that make them look like they've been heated up multiple times from frequent use looks really well done as well. Lifting up on the unit here, there's a hole right here that it plugs right into, and there you go. Now you're in business for turret swivel action. Okay, coming around to the other side here, we're just going to pop this other wheel skirt in like so, and that's on there. And then we're going to take our other turret, we're going to put the ammo box in there like so. We're going to plug that in on this side. Why does that look weird? Maybe it's supposed to go like so. And okay, that looks better. I don't know why, but the other way it would feel like to me that the gunner would be a little crowded if the ammo was on this side. I don't know why. I feel like this is the way to go. Unless these are meant to go this way, so you have full 360-degree coverage. I don't know. Either way, you can put those turrets on the way that you like, and whatever works for your his tank strategy. Okay. 2 pegs here, 2 holes here. The turret just slots right in on those pegs, and we're good to go. Last but not least, well, I guess second to last, third to last, blast shield. Okay, you've got these grooves right here. They slot in. Actually, you've got these grooves right here, and they slide in along the notches that are here on the turret, and there you go. Turret is fully assembled. We'll just go ahead and flip this port up right here, and we will, I guess, first make sure your missiles are all nice and tight on the tree, and then we pop those babies in right here, like so. Man, this thing is diesel. I don't know that the boys over on the G.I. Joe side are going to be able to come back with anything. I don't know how this is going to hold up. Or I should say, I don't know how the Dragonfly is going to hold up against this. This thing is massive, y'all. Absolute beast of a unit. Just crazy. Crazy. Okay. For purposes of this video, we will go ahead and use the classified canopy here. And it should be noted that it's got this gimmick where if you're not careful, ask me how I know. If you're not careful, I worry about the clear plastic on this over time. I've already had one of these snap off on me, and I've had to email Hasbro. And, you know, it's not like I don't ham fist my toys like that. It's just something with, what I think it is it's something with the way that this paint took to here, maybe. So when I lifted it up, this piece snapped and it just stayed plugged right in, and this came right out. So just a word to the wise, a word of caution to the wise. Be careful when you are taking these out, okay? And then this plugs in right here at the top, like so, and folds down, closes like so, good to go. It should be noted that I also have a problem on this side here. It doesn't sit flush for whatever reason. And I mean, I'm sure there's going to be someone who figures out how to mod it, but I think it has something to do with how this is cast. Because again, this one, snug as a bug in a rug. This one, slightly off. It's not a big deal. It's not going to be noticeable on your shelf, and it does not take away from the brilliance that is the classified Hiss. This is beautiful looking. And then we'll go ahead and we'll bring the turrets down. Oh, something about the clicking, clanking of ratchets is very therapeutic to me. I don't know what it is about that, but I can sit here and clickety clack all day long. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A fully assembled G.I. Joe classified Hiss tank. One thing to be noted is on the back here, there's a notch where you can pull out the tow hook, and I appreciate that they used a peg. This is a very thoughtful go forward strategy, because we know it's coming. They're going to modularize the other vehicles like the MMS. Perhaps we'll get a classified ASP that will have this gimmick where it plugs into the back of these vehicles that have these new design tow hooks. But I love the updated design. I love that it's a peg and it just folds right back on up in there. And then the rail on the back here where troopers can stand on, it just folds down like so, okay? And it looks great. I don't know if there have been folks voicing concerns or not about the lack of pegs, but what I will tell you is I really don't give a shit. The fact that this looks more, I guess there's a sense of realism when it's just like this. And if you're gonna mount a couple of guys back here, they have this handle that you can have them hold on to, and they should stand just fine. I would wager they would stand just fine. Who knows? Maybe we'll find out by the end of this video. And then lastly, I mean, this thing is loaded with gimmicks, right? But this thing opens up, and then it reveals a weapons rack. This houses all the guns and accessories that come with the Hiss tank driver and the tactician. And then you also have, I'm not sure how good this is coming through on camera, but you also have a tactical chair here that slides up and down, and we'll take a more in-depth look at that once we start getting into some of this stuff and get this outfitted. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is a work of art, in my opinion. And the pictures, everything that you see online, it doesn't do it justice, because in hand, this thing is massive, y'all. And then look at those treads. Look at that. My son came downstairs last night and he saw one that I already had opened, and he lost his mind. He couldn't believe it. He's like, "Dad, they got vehicles for these guys now?" And I just was like, "Yep." And you know, he asked a very legitimate question, and that question was, where are you going to put all this stuff? Because as you can see, I mean, space is a hot commodity, but I'll figure it out. Well worth everything up to this point that we've seen. I mean, this line it just continues to amaze me, what they put out. And it's really good to see. in Lenny's case, it's really good to see someone that you know was a fan of the brand when they were younger kind of take the reins, and this is what you get. And it's nothing short of remarkable, y'all. Nothing short of it. Okay, enough droning on about this massive unit. Let's go ahead and get into some figures. All right, everybody, we're going to get into the packaging for these figures. And up first, we'll start with his gunner, which you can see here is the packaging still has that windowless offering. And I'll be honest with you, I really don't care. This looks great. The artwork is very remarkable. I love the detailing in here. I mean, this almost looks like a painting. Like if they had those poster offerings, you could frame one of these up and it would look phenomenal. Phenomenal. Look at that, like the detailing here. And I love how they went with like this red hue. I don't know if that's a play on the Cobra spotlight that's on the Hiss, but it looks great. And then turning it around, you get 788 logo, the Cobra Hiss logo, and then the numbering nomenclature is the same, 101. And then the various, so they brought this back, which I find interesting, which was the specialty, so the skill specialty, I guess. And then turning it around, you see here the deco for the figure and the loadout. She comes with shovel, pickaxe / hammer, 2 closed fist hands, a pistol, a futuristic looking rifle, and a futuristic looking shotgun. So that's the Hiss gunner. Moving right along, that's what the packaging for the Hiss tactician looks like. And once again, very similar artwork, almost looks like a painting, except here you've got the signature for the artist, which looks great. You see here he looks very different than the other two. He's actually black and red from top to bottom. His rifle has some additional red accenting on it, as does his pistol. But again, the detail on the packaging is great. You've got the Haslab logo, turned to the top. You've got the classified logo, the Haslab logo again, and then on the flap here, you've got the Cobra Hiss logo. And I guess the same could be said of the gunner as well. Sorry, I did not point that out. Turning it around, same bit of business. You've got the 788 with the Cobra Hiss, except now you've got he's number 100, so the numbering nomenclature again. And again, the skills from the skill tree that they rolled out with for, I think, the first 2 or 3 waves. And then on the back, we've got this digital rendering again of the figure. Nice Cobra logo on the background, showcasing the loadout. He comes with the rifle, pistol, and 2 closed fists as well. And the one everyone's been waiting for, which we all know this guy. We all knew it was coming. The Cobra Hiss driver. And what I find interesting is when they rebooted the line back for the 25th, he was a single offered figure. He came as a standard release on card with the rest of them. And then when the Hiss tank came out, they released the Hiss tank with a version of this figure. I think his name was Rip It, maybe? I don't remember. It looked like a Cobra Hiss driver, but had a different code name designation. So the artwork on this guy, really great. Really great. You see again, the front box artwork was clearly used for, I want to say all 3 of these guys, because you see here again the Destro silhouette with half of the Baroness face as pictured on the front. You just get it, up close, and again, just what fantastic looking artwork. I mean, look at that. That's great. That's great. Turning it around to the side, he is number 99. Once again, the skill tree, as we've seen. Digital render on the back. He comes with the same loadout as the tactician, so he comes with a rifle, a pistol, and 2 closed fists. Turning it around, same bit of business. The Cobra Hiss logo, the 788, and then up here, Haslab, classified, Cobra Hiss logo. And now for the one that everyone is probably most curious about, we have the retro carded Mickey Mouse print error Cobra Commander, and wow. So here's what I'll say. The card stock is thicker. So it's not flimsy. I mean, you can see here I'm holding it. It's not like creasing or giving out under its own weight, which is great. It really is. One thing that is a little bit bizarre about this one specifically, and I'll see how close we can come up in here real quick. I don't know how good this is showing through on the camera, but the rendering here looks very pixelated, and I don't know if it's not the card. It's definitely not the finish on the card, because I'm looking at it and this is cardboard, but if you look here, it looks like textured, which is, I don't know, it's just bizarre. The artwork is great though. The artwork is really good. It's gonna look good on any display. You've got the G.I. Joe logo up here. You've got the filled in peg hole, I guess. So unpunched, remember unpunched during the whole vintage card craze. If you had one and it wasn't punched and you sent it in and got it graded, it increased the value exponentially. Looking at his loadout, he comes with his traditional dagger, his traditional experimental ray gun, a Cobra coiled around the world, and I believe that's an homage to when they had the quotes on the back of the file cards. He said something to the degree of, "I will not stop until my organization has coiled around the world like a cobra," something to that degree. He's got his backpack to hold the experimental weapon, and then he comes with a plethora of fists, all of which that the classified Cobra Commander have come with. And then getting in on here, you can see that the figure itself looks really good encased in that clamshell, and they did a really good job. They did a really good job. I mean, and what I love is that you can see the seal of the figure along, the base of the plastic clamshell here. And that's a really good throwback to when how the cards were originally released when they debuted at retail. I know the new retro cards are going to have this seam here encased in a double thick cardstock, kind of like how the retro Marvel Legends have been coming out, and that's fine. I mean, either way is cool. I just think that the fact that you can see the seal along the side here adds a little bit of character to the character. Turning it around, they went with the full Larry Hama card back, which I really wish they would move back to this. The new retro file cards they're just a waste, in my opinion. They don't explain anything about the character. They're like less than 3 sentences, and we've got to accommodate like 5 other languages, and I know that's a cost-cutting means to save money, but I mean, come on, if we're gonna do it. That's one thing, Lenny. You and your team can go back to the powers that be and maybe try to make a case for that as y'all relaunch the retro line, because this, I think, does the best. And let's just say, you go all in on the line and you're trying to introduce folks that have never been introduced to it. If they were to turn it around and read the new file cards, you get little to nothing about the character. Whereas this, it's very in-depth. I love that they're still assigning the grades. I still love that they're doing the primary and secondary skill sets for the characters. But yeah, if they can go back to just using the old Larry Hama file cards, I think that would be a great step in the right direction. Granted, cost-cutting measure, so totally get it from a business standpoint. And then you've got the Haslab logo here with a ginormous Cobra logo on the back there. So that's it for the packaging. We'll come in and we'll take an in-depth look at these figures in just a sec. Okay, y'all should know by now how we do this. Up first, we'll talk loadout. So for the Hiss driver, he comes with a black cast rifle with, I'm guessing, I don't know, like this knife here. It's interesting the way that this is mounted, because you see here, this is where the barrel ends, right? So if you shoot in the recoil, right, if this thing has the slightest amount of recoil, boom, bye blade. Just a weird design, in my opinion. I don't know why they went that route or thought that that would be, I don't know. I think I've got a problem with this gun now that I look at it. Anyway, the magazine comes out, plugs in at the bottom there. And yeah, I mean, that's really it. A lot of really neat line work in this. As you can see, love that they are, again, you know, the assumed tactical stock. I mean, I guess if they were going to incorporate the actual functional stock, this would have been the offering to do so, instead of maybe just giving us these, which are practically useless. He comes with 2 of these giant, whatever, gloved closed fists, which, yeah, that's what you get. Really, really nice gloss black paint on them, but I won't be using these for anything. And let's see here. Lastly, but certainly not least, he comes with this pistol. Should be noted that the weapons are compatible with the blast effects, although on here, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Okay, getting into the figure itself, this is what he looks like, and he is spectacular. Absolute beast of a figure. This guy, I don't know how well it's showing through on the camera, but you've got 2 tones here, right? So most of these parts have been cast in this red plastic, but then you've got this really brilliant gloss red that's applied to the upper vest here, comes all the way around to the front, and also to the head of the figure. And man, it looks really good. And then let's see how close I can get in here. Getting in a little closer here. Look at that brilliant silver Cobra logo over the blue on the vest. Spectacular. Spectacular. Phenomenal. Phenomenal all the way around. The black, also the black paint and silver paint on the visor and the cloth. I'm guessing this is the cloth part of the mask, or the face-plated part of the mask. Looks really, really well done. Man, the sculpt work, the line work on the helmet is really good. Really, really good. Moving down the figure, you've got some gloss paint at the upper portion of the gauntlet. Same for the glove. You've got, let's see here, black on the elbows, which nice sculpted detail in there. Nice black finish on the straps here as well. I'm guessing this whole piece was cast in black, and then this has paint. This has paint, and then this is tampoed on over the top, and it looks, like I said, it looks great. Blue paint accent on the inside of the belt. Coming around the forearm here, he's got this neat little, I don't know what this is, this device on his wrist, and it looks like it has some sort of like radar heads-up display. It's got some measurements here. I'm not sure if that's like an ammo count or, oh yeah, it looks Maybe that's to tell him how much ammo he's got left. I don't know, but it looks really good. Man, the fact that they're getting these small prints on these figures like this are great. And then here, he's got the power glove. Oh, sorry, that's what that reminded me of, was a throwback to days long past. He's got some device, like some sort of control mechanism on his arm here with another display gauge. This looks great. This is a really thoughtful accessory to add. And then moving on down, the upper torso, or the upper leg here, the upper thigh, has gloss black paint application coming all the way down the unit here. The sculpt work, really good. Really, really, really good on this guy. He's also got a holster for his trusty sidearm, and that fits in no problem. Articulation-wise, the joints on this guy feel great. They feel really great. I don't feel like I'm going to break anything. I don't feel like anything is fighting me. So whatever they're doing going forward, it feels like they've got this sorted out and figured out. I mean, he's got the typical classified articulation. You know, he can look up a bit, he can look down, not a problem, left and right. It's good to go. Shoulders, waist swivel. Oh, look at that. Even the functional ab crunch with the vest on there. Fantastic. Fantastic. Double knee joint. Get you any dynamic pose you're going to want out of this guy. And then the ankle articulation actually works both up and down, which is a first, I think. And then he's got the great ankle tilt. So yeah, all in all, a really, really solid offering. Up next, we've got the His Tactician. So as we'll do, we'll stick with the theme here. Couple useless accessories. It should be noted his are black and gray for the closed fist offering. Comes with the same rifle. It does have the red paint accents on it. Magazine comes out. And comes with the same pistol with the top half with that brilliant gloss red paint finish on that. Okay. Getting right into the figure, he is the exact same mold and cast as the His Tank driver, except he is this sort of charcoal black, maybe? Grayish. I thought he was all black, but now that I'm looking at him under the light, he's actually like gray. And then the vest here has this really nice gunmetal finish to it. Brilliant gloss black on the front of the vest with the bright red Cobra logo on there, and that looks fantastic. Fantastic. Paint apps on the head look really great. Again, same sculpt as the His Tank driver. He's got this brilliant gloss red finish, brilliant silver finish for the visor, and then the black for the cloth part of the mask. Looks like the paint may have gotten away from them a little bit towards the bottom there. I'm not sure how good that's showing through. He's got the red accents on the shoulders. All that looks really, really well done. He's got a red cast belt with no paint applications. He's got the same gimmick, or I should say device, on his arm. Let's see how close we can get in here. Oh, had it. There we go. And again, same device, different color scheme. The buttons are painted, or the heads-up display is painted. You know what I'm talking about. This little thing right here, painted, and then the D-pad on the power glove is also painted. So this thing looks really good. It looks really, really good, really well done. Moving down, we've got the thighs are cast in this grayish, blackish. And then, again, the gloss paint finish on the upper thighs. Moving on down to the legs here, and it looks really good. Really good. The red on the inside of the shins looks amazing. And, you know, I'm not going to go through the articulation again. It feels good. It feels good like the His Tank driver. You know, it's really, I mean, these joints are fine. I don't feel like it's fighting me. I don't feel like it's, you know, I don't feel like there's nothing you couldn't get that you wanted to dynamic pose wise out of this. So yeah, that's the Tactician. He looks really good. Okay, up next, the His Tank Gunner. First accessory, I should say, this is different. It's this futuristic looking shotgun. Not sure if this has been used already off top, but does come compatible with the blast effects. Has the drum barrel in there with the shotgun shells, so that's a nice little touch. They did paint the shells red, and then the back of the casing is painted in like this gunmetal. Almost, it's not brass, and it's not quite gold. It's like something in the middle, but it looks really good. Very well done. Love the detailing in that. She comes with the same rifle as the His Tank Driver. Magazine removes no problem, slots in no problem. She comes with the same pistol. And then the 2 extra closed fists for her. Same bit of business, except properly scaled for, I guess, female anatomy. Those look good. Gloss paint on the top looks well done. She also comes with a couple of extra accessories. I'm not sure what this is about, but she comes with a shovel. And this looks pretty good. I like the sculpted detail in there. I mean, this thing's been through the ringer here. And then really nice notch work, sculpted detail there on the handle. And then for the hammer, don't be on the receiving end of this joint right here. I do think they had a missed opportunity on both of these. They could have put some gunmetal or some silver paint along these parts here to really make it pop. However, doesn't take away from the sculpt work that's there. The detailing, all that looks spectacular. Setting those aside, now we'll take a look at the gunner herself. And again, same color palette as the His Tank Drivers, so they're very uniform. She's got the same blue accent in her belt. She's got the same device on her wrist here. And again, really, really well done. Really well done. This, I love that they're doing stuff like this now. This just looks really good. And let's see here. So again, gloss paint finish for the helmet, brilliant silver for the visor, the cloth on the black, on the cloth part of the mask, or the plate, faceplate part of the mask, looks very well done. Same for the upper vest here. You've got this nice black line work in here over the gloss red. The blue looks spectacular. That silver Cobra logo on there looks flawless. Absolutely flawless. Semi-gloss, or sorry, full gloss finish on the upper gauntlet and on the padding on the hands there. Same on this side. You've got the black paint on the elbows there, which that looks good. That looks really good. Should be noted, her elbows are different than the other two. Coming on down, she's got she's got the black gloss finish on the upper thigh, coming all the way down the figure, and the articulation on this is really good again as well. Should be noted, I don't know if that's part of the line work or not, but maybe that's a defect right there in the cast. So just something to make note of. Doesn't detract from the figure at all. Let's see here. So she can sit, no problem if she has to assume the cockpit of the His Tank. And then she's got waist swivel. No ab crunch, or either that or it's hindered from this. She looks left to right, no problem. Shoulder joints function as you would expect. And I'm not sure if these are a reuse on the Valkyrie figures, from the Valkyrie figures or not. I don't have that set yet. So it's possible these are reused, at least for like the female torso. But again, I'm not 100% sure. Feel free to chime in on the comments to keep me honest Again, the gloss red finish on here looks great. Looks absolutely stunning. Okay, that's it really for the main three figures. We'll come back and we'll take a look at the big bad himself in just a sec. Continuing on with the figure loadout, last but not least, we've got Cobra Commander. I left the closed fist accessories in here because who cares? He comes with the pointing hand, which I've always liked since they released that with the first round. But he also comes with this sort of, I call this like the world domination hand. And I think what it's for is you can, if you do this right, you can sit this globe accessory in his hand, like so, showcasing world domination of Cobra, which leads us to the serpent coiled around the globe accessory. And man, that's a good looking accessory. That's a really, really good looking accessory. Love it. Okay. He also comes with this backpack. Should be noted, the Cobra logo on this is also misprinted, which I find interesting. And he comes with his experimental, I don't even know what this was, experimental weaponry. Let's call it that. I know it was like some sort of like phase gun or whatever, and it's, you know, this feels like it's made of a sturdier plastic than the typical release. However, there's still some misshape issues going on here with mine. Should be noted, this has really good silver paint applications as well along the back there. And then for a quick test fit, unfortunately, it doesn't sit too flush with his back. That's as far as I can get it in, and there's still a little bit of a gap, but it does give that vintage vibe nonetheless. Okay, last but not least, he comes with his dagger, and it looks good. Silver paint on the blade, gold paint on the hilt there, and then the handle is in black. That looks good. And then he also comes with a sheath, and that fits in there no problem. All right, getting into the figure itself. This is what you want to see. This is a straight up 1-for-1 of the villain that we all come to get acclimated with in the 80s for G.I. Joe's Nemesis. I mean, he looks like he walked straight off of the comic book page or the big screen via the cartoon. So let's zoom out a little bit here. One thing to note, he does have the misprint Cobra insignia, the Mickey Mouse version. Brilliant silver paint apps for his collar cuffs, I guess. Nice silver on the deco for the jacket here as well, along the buttons. Brilliant red paint application on the belt, upper belt. Turning around, the straps here. You know what's interesting is this is actually part of the sculpt. I just realized that. This isn't like its own standalone web gear, which I find very interesting. Same with this one here. Actually, I'll be damned. It's the same with both belts. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. Because this harkens back to like the O-ring where everything was kind of sculpted on the figure, but here they chose to give him the actual knife sheath, which is really interesting. Should also be noted, he has the red stripe coming down both sides of his pants, which I want to say the vintage figure had partial red stripe on one of them, and I think it was to accommodate the dagger if I'm not mistaken, but could be right, could be wrong. Could be wrong. His blue is brilliant. It is brilliant. It is a darker blue, not so much really super bright, but he's going to pop on a shelf. Regardless, the silver finish on the faceplate, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. The only thing that looks a little weird for me, the helmet sits a little tight on the head, and I'm used to having these side pieces flare out a little bit, and they don't. So it just looks a little weird, but from the side, we're talking money. Looks spot on. Coming around the back, mine has this warped finish to it. I don't know if that's a problem on all of them, but you can kind of see it there. And then paint applications on the back look really good. The feet have a blue and red accent to kind of finish the pants and kind of do that, the thing where they wrap around, which is nice. Looks really nice. Articulation-wise, his joints feel really good as well. They feel really good as well. I don't feel like anything's fighting me. He has a phenomenal range for looking up. He can look down. He's got some really good waist articulation. The ab crunch is, of course, functional. And let's see what else. The double jointed arms feel really good. Wrist articulation, upper arm articulation is good. Same on this side. The joints, again, don't feel like they're fighting me. Oh, should be noted. Silver finish on the base of each arm, and that looks great as well. Moving down, the double knee joint, you'll get any pose you want out of this guy. Not a problem. Not a problem. The upper leg swivel feels good. Ankle, he can go down. He gets a little up. And the swivel from side to side, not a problem. He also has a pivot point right here at the upper portion of his ankle. Yeah, all in all, really well done, aside from the weird warp issue I've got on the back of my helmet there. Other than that, really good figure. Really good figure. I hope that they release him in the main line and correct the Cobra symbol. I wouldn't have a beef with that. Not at all. There's been a lot of controversy and a lot of, I don't know, not so much controversy, but a lot of chatter around the scaling, okay? And hopefully this side-by-side comparison will put things to rest for folks. Here's what I am going to say. Based on the proportions, and this isn't even 3 3/4 inch. This is, I mean, I guess, yeah, it's 1 1/18 scale, right? 1 1/18 scale, and I believe this is 1/6 scale, okay? So here's the deal. Note how much space is between the top of this figure's head to the canopy, okay? He almost sits flush with the canopy, all right? Now, I'm going to shift over here. Look how much space is from the top of the figure's head to the canopy. So, based on the proportions here, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say that, and listen, we always knew that this maybe wasn't always properly scaled. This, however, is more properly scaled. So hopefully, seeing the side-by-side here, I mean, it doesn't even come close, right? Like, this thing is a fraction of the size as the classified Haslab, his tank. I mean, it's not even really close. And this is, I believe this is still scaled off OG, but they accommodated the cockpit to let these guys fit. But regardless, nonetheless, you see here, 25th anniversary scale, right? 25th anniversary scale, classified scale. So hopefully that helps, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with final conclusion here. Okay, so I took the missiles off the back to kind of just showcase my hypothesis on the lack of figure pegs or foot pegs for the figures here. And it does look a little weird. but nonetheless, you'll still be able to get your figures to hang off the back of this unit with no problem. It's just, it does look a little awkward, and I will 100% concede that point. However, that little bit of nitpick aside, this thing looks great, all geared up. Like, there is absolutely no complaints from me. And then let's see if we can showcase some of the light gimmicks. I did put some batteries in, so hopefully that's showing through okay on the camera. But it's got several different light features. The cockpit also illuminates, which is great. The Cobra projecting light doesn't really showcase that well on here, but rest assured, nonetheless, on any other surface, it will look great. Or I should say it does look great. And then for reference, here is how a Mezco figure will scale with this unit. And again, if you missed the boat and you didn't pre-order one, I do feel bad for you. I feel really bad for you. My recommendation would be bite the bullet, at least add one of these units to your lineup, because this thing looks spectacular. They knew exactly who they were catering to. They knew exactly what they were doing, and the final product is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, before I forget, I did say we were going to show off the back here. So when you open the back, it automatically lights up, and you can see that the tactician fits in there with no problems whatsoever. The weapon rack, you can use it with no problem. The guns hold the way that you would expect, and there's like no problems getting that stuff to stay in its respective place. The other thing, I guess, that I didn't talk about real quick that I will touch on is these ladders here. These do not give this is the one thing that does not feel good about this unit. I feel like I'm going to snap this off every time I mess with it. And this one here, unfortunately, didn't go quite back into the full resting position. Neither here nor there. It's not going to take away from the displayability, but it is just, it's something worth calling out. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Hiss tank as best as I could get it for you on my review station. Hopefully all this looks great and you can really see the features of the product. And it is, again, this is one of the best toys that I've had the pleasure of and been fortunate enough to be able to add to my collection since I can remember. I mean, holy moly. I also did forget to show that these back lights here, they light up as well. Again, just hours and hours of playability with this thing. It is spectacular, and I'm glad I was able to bring out this video review too. So if y'all like the content, if you like what you're seeing, please like the video, share with your friends and family. Hell, share it in the groups. Subscribe to the channel. I've got plenty more content on the way. Appreciate it, y'all. Till next time, hope y'all take care. Thanks and stay safe. Bye-bye.